you beautiful people on the internet. You're watching us live here at the SF Summit. I'm A.M. Grabilny. I'm here to speak some truth. Steve here has been up here a lot, and he's faking losing his voice. He's gaslighting us. He bought weeks ago a domain, the dawhisperer.com, and he's just really trying to build that brand. Steve, tell us about yourself. I'm a solutions architect here. I'm one of your hosts. We're going to be talking with Michael later, but tell us about yourself, Steve. Tell us about your new brand that you're really excited to launch.
Well, right now, I'm a .NET and PowerShell DA, but I'm going to be auditioning for Squeaky Batman shortly.
Wonderful. And to our guest of honor, Michael, please
Yes.
tell us.
My name is Michael Blyle.
Okay.
I am a senior learning product manager in training and certification.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go off script here before we get started.
Okay.
Michael,
Yes.
if you could have any AWS, sorry, not have, but must, tattoo an AWS service on your body, which service do you pick?
Oh, I would probably go
EC2,
with.
EC2.
I feel like EC2 is overdone.
Oh!
Yes.
I would go with more of like an Athena.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, all right.
So-
Love it, love it. So, in that same vein, somewhat tangential to this,
Very
we're going to be talking about badges.
Yes.
Right? Which
Yep.
are a tattoo of learning, I'm going to say.
Yes. Yes.
Tell us a bit about what are these badges, why are we here talking about them, and,
Yeah.
and what
Well,
can our audience learn?
Yeah, I mean, for years, people have been asking us for learning badges, and we listened, and we are proud to announce that we are launching 2 learning badges for Object we launched earlier this year 2 learning badges, Object and Storage. And these learning badges they're really designed to help you show your proficiency and your competence in AWS skills around storage and both the block and the object storage.
I love it, I love it.
So,
So,
who are they
go ahead.
for?
Really, they're for everybody. You don't have to have any prior experience with storage or even with the cloud. We have built our learning process and our products to be able to support you from ground one in confidence all the way along that learning journey.
Yeah, and that's interesting choice of words you have there, learning journey,
Yes.
right? I, again, will only speak for myself here, but I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that when you approach AWS and you want to learn something new, it's a bit overwhelming, just a little.
A little bit.
You know, we have 250 plus services. Where do I get started on some of these things is often difficult to understand or, even find resources about, what should I learn and when.
Right.
And I think that's part of what you all have accomplished with badges. Is that
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. We have built a learning plan that has, between 6 to 12 hours of content in that learning plan, specifically for object storage and block storage. And then that badge is really, it's that worthwhile achievement of being able to show to your colleagues, to yourself, that you have this knowledge around, block storage or object storage. It's really a very, really kind of cool thing. And the thing that is awesome is that it's free and it's available to everyone.
Oh, that's great to hear too.
Yeah.
How much experience do I need to have to start getting one of these badges?
Yeah, you know what? You don't need any experience at all. Again, we built our learning plans to really start at ground zero and help you build confidence along the way. The other key piece to that, Steve, is the courses themselves are there and they're modular, they're self-paced, so you don't have to, if you have knowledge coming in, let me say it that way. If you have knowledge coming in, you don't have to take all these courses. You can jump right into taking the assessment if you feel like it, or just taking certain courses where you need to brush up your knowledge and skills.
You know what? Another thing that I love about this, and I'm curious to hear if maybe this is part of the philosophy behind these badges as well, is oftentimes we focus a bit on services, right? But these are not focused on services, actually. These are pretty generic terms in terms of storage, right? Block and object are applicable to lots of different places in the tech
Yeah.
industry. Not just, when I hear block and object, I immediately go EBS and S3, but that's because I work here, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
But that's not necessarily true. So is that types of approaches that you're taking with these badges of, maybe it's not as service centric and maybe it's more, hey, let's teach about things like block storage, things like object
Yes.
storage.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely. That's the approach with the overall design of the learning badges. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, putting the services into the context in which they originated or belong really helps me to understand
helps.
more deeply into why the service is the way it is or what
Right.
it does or
Yep.
way beyond just the how do I configure this service or how do I work with this service.
Right.
Yep.
Great. How do I earn one?
Well, it's 4 easy steps.
Okay.
First,
All right.
go to skillbuilder.aws, sign up your free AWS Skill Builder account. 2, enroll in either the block or object storage learning plans. 3, and this is the key one, pass the assessment with 80% or better. And then go to Credly to collect your digital badge.
Okay. Cool.
Easy.
Yeah.
And you're going to walk us through
Yeah,
some of
let
this
me
too,
walk
right?
you through
You wanna-
this.
you
Yeah,
wanna
yeah.
show
Why
us?
don't I show this?
Okay. Love to see. Love to
So
experience.
I'm going to go into right here, go into our skill builder. I'm already logged in. The first time when you come in after you create an account, it brings you to your learning dashboard. But if you haven't learned anything yet, you're not going to have anything in there. So you want to come to the course catalog. Now, in Skill Builder, we have over 500 free digital learning offerings. So there's a lot there. There's a lot to filter too. So I always like to go in and I like to go into these filters and I can actually filter by learning plans. And then I can just do a simple search here like storage. Hopefully I spell it right. And there we have. We have a bunch of storage learning plans that come up. Now the only 2, again, that are available for badges right now are the block and object. But so why don't I go in? I can just go in and click on this. And this is going to bring up my block storage learning plan. And we talked about that being that path, right?
Right.
So it really starts with things like getting started with AWS storage. And then goes all the way down. You have some deep dives into EBS. All of this content is here. And then if you choose to join, dive into one of these courses, we take it even to a level deeper and we modularize those courses. So if there are things about, let's just say, EBS that you already know, but there are other parts that you need to brush up on a little bit, you can actually go through the course and jump to those modules specifically to
So
get
I don't
that
have to do it
knowledge.
in sequence.
So you don't have to do it in sequence, but we've also built it so that it is linear and you can do it in sequence if that's the path that you choose. So we're trying to be as flexible with folks as possible.
Could I just jump in and do the assessment?
You could just jump in and do the assessment, and you know what? We actually recommend that because sometimes, again, maybe you are a seasoned IT professional and you are working on, on premises for a long time, but you understand storage, you understand, a lot of the technology. It's a great way to baseline. Because when you go in and take that assessment, and I can go in and actually show you this too, is when you go in and take the assessment, it's going to give you a study plan based on how you did. Let me find my course here. Sorry. So you can go in and begin the test. It's going to give you a little bit of information here. But let me show you the actual learning learning plan for after you take the assessment. Sorry,
Okay.
it took me a little second.
So basically, it's going to figure out what you don't know
Yes,
and then tell you what you need to fill the gaps.
exactly. So right now I'm in the object storage learning plan. I'm launching the assessment. And here, let's not make fun of my score, but
Man, we'd never.
I did not pass.
Never. That's okay. There's always next time, and there's courses there to help you
Absolutely.
get a better score.
So this is a great example of a learning plan. This is really a study map for you to go back and say, wow, securing and protecting my data did not do well on that.
Yeah.
I can then go and find that course in the learning plan, bring it up, and dive into it and really fill that gap.
That's great. And you mentioned there are 500 courses there. And so this is a nice directed way. You're going to love this, Steve, the analogy I just drew right now. I eat a lot at Taco Bell, okay? Taco Bell has a massive menu. But Taco Bell has put in a subsection of their menu something called Veggie Cravings, and I'm a vegetarian. So I can just skip right to that Veggie Cravings, and that's all relevant to me.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Very, very
Connecting the
similar.
dots back.
Connecting the dots back to Taco Bell.
I want to learn storage.
Yeah.
I've got a learning plan right here.
You have a
I don't
learning
have to
plan.
go search it out.
It's equivalent to the blue menu on Taco Bell.
Love it. I love it. Get me a Baja Blast. Sign me up for the storage badge. I'm going to get the energy from that
Yes,
blast.
absolutely.
So you
Pass
mentioned the next time. So if I take the assessment and I fail it, how quickly can I retake the assessment?
Yeah, it's a good question. So the assessment you can take as many times as you want. However, we do require that you wait 24 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
Just to prevent folks from going in and getting overloaded, with
Cool down
questions.
period.
It's a kind of a cool down period. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And, look, we all lead busy lives. Some of us more busy than others. I don't have a lot to do, Steve.
You're going to Taco Bell all the time.
You don't return my calls.
I'm
you
just
don't
slammed. I'm just
answer
slammed.
my Slacks. Nothing.
There might be a reason for that.
I'm starting to think there is. Anyway, we all live different paced lives.
Yes.
Can I stop the assessment? Can I stop courses, come back, pause,
Yes.
resume?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
on the assessment specifically, you can pause it for an unlimited amount of time. You can resume it at that point, and it's going to pick you up exactly where you left off. So if you had answered 25 questions and there's 45 on the assessment, you're going to start at question 26. And you can do that as many times as you need to. We understand that people are busy, interruptions come up, and we want to make it as easy as possible from the administrative part of it.
Yeah. I mean, I would recommend, if possible, carve out time and do as much
Yes.
together as you can, right? Context switching is our greatest enemy,
Yeah.
typically in tech roles.
And in that, vein, the assessments are approximately 45 to 60
Oh.
multiple choice questions.
Okay.
It should take you about an hour if you're
Okay.
planning. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you could probably carve out that time, block your calendar,
Yep.
right?
Block your calendar, but we know that things come up.
Totally.
Yep.
Totally. How do you make these questions up? Like, what questions end up on this?
Yeah,
assessment?
no, that's so. We work with our learning product managers, work with both our customers
Okay.
and subject matter experts in those services to really identify what are the key knowledge and skills that somebody needs to be proficient in, let's say, object storage.
Yeah.
From there, we then work with our curriculum team to build really world-class digital assets like I showed you in those courses there. And then we assemble them into the learning plan to support people in that journey of obtaining this badge.
Okay. Cool. Great. So, inevitably, I have to ask this
Yeah.
question. We actually, and not to pick on you, Michael.
No,
I'm not judging at all.
I understand.
Failure happens.
It does.
You fail the assessment sometimes.
Yeah.
What do I do if I don't pass? How do I start approaching the topic again without letting it bog me down that I failed? Or what suggestions do you have?
So, well, first of all, there is no failure. I mean, every time you take the assessment, you learn something.
True.
True.
So, I think that's the mindset that people need to have, that this isn't a super high stakes. This isn't going on your permanent record if you fail,
It's
right?
not failing, it's guiding.
It's hey, I learned a little bit more. But the best thing to do is, like I showed you on that score report, is to go in and then look at those areas where you didn't perform as well as you should have or wanted to, and then tie that back to the courses. Take that time, review that course, and when you feel confident that you have gained that knowledge, come back in and take the assessment again.
Right. So I have a question from LinkedIn Live user
Yeah.
Markana Banks. I hope I whispered that correctly. Where can we earn the badge again?
So you can earn the badge. The badge is through AWS Skill Builder, where the assessment is. Once you pass that assessment with 80% or better, we will send you in 5 to 7 days an email. And in that email, there will be directions to sign up for your free Credly account. Credly is a network that validates credentials, digital credentials. With that, you will then be able to create your Credly account for free and then claim your badge. And then, you know, it's really very cool. Let me show you. So this is what your Credly badge will look like. It's really nice, the year and everything. And then you can actually take this and post it out to social medias like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, so that you can show your peers, your colleagues, your family, your friends, hey, I got my object storage learning badge.
I've been telling Steve time and time again to celebrate his wins more.
Yeah.
He does not celebrate his wins enough publicly. Let us all celebrate with you, Steve. Post it to LinkedIn.
One day.
One day.
One day.
Okay.
I promise I will.
You said that live on air. It's recorded.
Was
You
it,
can't back out
was it
now.
recorded? I don't think that piece was recorded.
No.
No?
No, I'm not sure.
It dropped out.
My,
The stream dropped out just during
my
that.
voice saw the microphone dropped out
Yeah.
at that point.
Wonderful. Wonderful, Steve. Okay. What's next for badges?
Yeah, where are we going
Yeah.
next?
So next, we're continuing down the storage specialty. We're going to be releasing file storage badge, a data recovery, and backup.
Okay.
Right.
And then, you know, honestly, the folks that are out there listening, if there are any badges, any domains, any learning goals that folks would like to see a badge for, we'd love to hear that feedback because, you know, we know that they're very popular and we would like to do more for our customers.
And where could people give you that feedback?
So they can send an email into to TNC training and certification,
Okay.
and that'll get funneled into us.
Okay.
Any other programs or upcoming events for TNC that you'd like to tell the audience about that they should check out? We've got Aaron coming up later to talk to us about Power Hour.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Anything else from the badge side that we should?
Well,
be paying
I would
attention
just encourage folks to go up and sign up for that free Skill Builder account. Again, it's not all about badges. Like I said, there are 500 plus digital courses up there that cover everything from EC2 to compute to network security, IoT, lots of great stuff up on Skill Builder. So.
Yeah. Any particular courses you would highlight maybe out of those 500 that?
One of my favorite
Yeah. I want to hear your favorite.
is the course on DynamoDB.
Oh, okay.
It's a developing on DynamoDB. It is a fantastic course. Starts you as a apprentice developer that comes in working with a senior developer using DynamoDB in real world business scenarios. It's a great course.
I'm
Wow.
biased. I was hoping you were going to say an EC2 course, but
Well,
I'll let you off the hook.
Thanks, Steve.
Wow.
I'm just happy I can spell EC2.
Always plugging back to that
Is,
EC2.
is
right?
that in the assessment? How do you spell EC2?
That is an alternative extra credit
Okay,
question.
extra credit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and Michael, if you want to give us that link one more time, I'm sure we
Yeah.
can drop it in chat to where do I go?
For-
Skill Builder.
Yeah, skillbuilder.aws.
Okay.
Wonderful.
All one word, Skill Builder.
Okay, so we're wrapping up here. Thank you, Michael, for joining us.
Thank you, gentlemen. This is great. Really appreciate the opportunity.
Stick around. We will be right back with more at the AWS Summit in San Francisco.